Hey guys, welcome to my channel, The Homestead Quest. My name is Amanda, and today is June 9th, and I'm in Eastern Washington, and it's been raining a lot. So today we're actually going to be doing a garden tour. I'll show you some new developments in my garden, and I also really need to fertilize my pepper plants and my pumpkin plants. Rain is wonderful for your garden, but if there's too much rain, which it's been really heavy rain, it can actually wash the nutrients out of your soil and make it harder for your plants to absorb them, and that's particularly bad for pumpkin plants and pepper plants. My pepper plants have actually been planted for a little bit less than a week, and I planted them, and then the next 3 days it rained like crazy, so they're actually kind of looking a little bit yellow and not as healthy as they should. So I'm going to take my Alaska fish fertilizer and we're going to feed the pepper plants and go ahead and just feed all the other plants at the same time. And I'll give you guys a little tour of the garden, and if you guys want to come along, you should come with me. So here are all of the pepper plants, and you know, most of them look pretty healthy. I'm still definitely going to need to fertilize today. This guy in particular doesn't look very happy. He's a Bolivian rainbow pepper plant. I have like purple bell pepper here, and then this is just a red, and this is just a red bell pepper. This whole row is a row of jalapeno plants. And then these are golden California sweet yellow bell peppers. These are pepperoncinis, which I'm really hoping to get a lot of this year. My husband loves them, and I'll try and pickle them. And then on this side, I have a poblano, and then I'm so excited about this one. This is called a vampire hot pepper plant, and it will literally grow black peppers, and I'm really excited about that. And then this is just like a green bell pepper plant. But yeah, we're gonna feed them today with the fish fertilizer, make them happy again. My mint is really starting to emerge and looking good. My goji berry tree is really looking good. We'll be fertilizing that one as well. The creeping thyme is doing so much better since it's been put in its new container. It was in a much smaller cloth container before, and now it's actually starting to stretch and grow into its new environment. And here's my beautiful blueberry bush. She'll get fed as well, and it's just, she's starting to look so full and beautiful. And if you watched one of my first garden tour episodes, I was showing you how I needed to weed this out, and it was looking scraggly and not very good. These are my chives, and since I weeded and fed last time, it has gotten more than twice as big, so that's doing healthy and much better. And my purple sage is starting to come back. And then I have my strawberry plants, and those will also be getting fertilized. They're heavy eaters as well. Starting to get a lot closer to some ripe strawberries. My peas are starting to get bigger. I need to fertilize them as well. And then I had some germination. I planted those mammoth sunflower seeds, and I've gotten some seedlings. I'm going to keep an eye on them, and the one that seems like it's going to be the strongest is the one I'll keep. They are huge flowers, so only one flower will be able to be maintained in one container. There's my rosemary, golden oregano. My tomato plants aren't doing horrible, but tomato plants are really susceptible to disease, especially if there's a lot of rain. This guy's doing good. Out of all of my tomato plants, though, I'm most worried about my Roma. It just has not perked up, and it did not like the rain at all. Here's my Cinderella pumpkin, and as you can see, it's starting to get some yellow dots, and I believe that that's a nitrogen deficiency, and it's been raining a lot, so it's gonna really need fed. And I have some more mint. And then more mammoth sunflower seeds. Again, I'm going to keep an eye on them and choose the strongest one. And then my beds with the arched trellis. I did plant pole bean seeds in this one about 3 days ago now. So I should see some seedlings emerging in the next 2 to 3 days. And then I put cucumber seeds on the side, and same thing, I planted them 3 days ago, and we should see some seedlings in the next few days. You guys might have seen me with this guy in my last Homestead Quest video. He's my decoy owl, and you know what? I never named him. I've had him for a few years now, so in the comment section below, if you guys have any suggestions on names for this guy, let me know. Alright, and I'll take more suggestions too, because I ended up planting my tomatoes in containers this year, and we're gonna put this cattle fencing on tall T-posts and make that the trellis for these, but that freed up a whole extra garden bed, and I already had one that wasn't really that I didn't really have plans for. So if you guys have any suggestions on good things to plant in there, please let me know. And it's more like, I know I've been researching a bunch of different vegetable and fruit plants, and my thing is I love things like carrots and potatoes, but you know, you're taking care of them all season and only harvesting at the end of the year. I want more of a giving plant that's like the tomatoes, that's like the peppers and the green beans and cucumbers, that I can plant and harvest throughout the season. And I will be getting starts at the store, so any suggestions that you guys have would totally be welcomed. I kind of thought about things like zucchini and stuff like that, but my family and I don't really eat zucchini or squash, so I would put that kind of thing in there, but it just wouldn't make sense for my family because we don't eat it. So yeah, any good fun suggestions, please put in the comment section. And then here are my Jack B. Little pumpkins. I've gotten a lot of growth out of this one. This one's doing pretty good too, but as you can see, they're a little bit yellow in coloring, so they're gonna need fed as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get my fish fertilizer and my watering can, and we're going to fertilize these plants. Alright guys, so I'm going to take my watering can and my Alaska fish fertilizer, and the measurements on this is 2 tablespoons of the fish emulsion per gallon of water. So there's 2 gallons in this, so I will be using 4 tablespoons essentially. And so the thing with the fish fertilizer, you guys, is it smells so gross. It's disgusting, but you know, the plants love it and it must be done. So we're gonna shake this up. I'm gonna show you guys, it's just, oh, and then you know, you measure some out. That's what it looks like. It's gross, but your plants will love you for it. And yeah, I'm gonna put 4 tablespoons of this in my watering can and then fill it to the top with water, mix it up, and then go ahead and feed the plants with it. Alright guys, I have my first, have my watering can here full of fish emulsion and water, and I'm gonna go ahead and feed the pepper plants now. I'm gonna feed them all super generously, and then I'm gonna hold off on watering them for a few days. Peppers are pretty drought resistant, and they're really sensitive to rain as far as the soil being diminished of nutrients. So I'm gonna feed them and just let them be for a while. Time to hit the containers by the house. I'm super excited because I accidentally got a bunch of the fish emulsion on my shoes and in my hair, so that's really gonna smell great for the whole rest of the day until I take a shower. Alright, now I'm gonna get the containers along the fencing. Lastly, we will fertilize the Jackby little pumpkins. Alright guys, so now that my plants are fertilized, I wanted to show you something. We're gonna walk back over to where I planted my carrots, and I'm so excited. You see those little green seedlings? Those are carrot seedlings. And I'm actually kind of surprised to be seeing them, but that's definitely what they are. They're not something different. And these ones on this end have germinated. I haven't seen any on this end, so I don't know if maybe this breed of carrot that I planted just germinates a little bit quicker, but it hasn't even been a full week, and usually it takes like a few weeks. Here's another one. You guys. So the thing with carrot seeds and carrot seedlings and just growing carrots in general, it's when they are in this stage, when you're trying to get them to be seedlings, and that's when it's the hardest, is at this stage. But once those seedlings show their true leaves, carrots are like the easiest thing to grow. So once you get them past the seed stage and you can get them to germinate, they're really easy. So this is really exciting to see, because that means the next couple of weeks we'll see germination from the rest of them, and then it will literally be just the hardest part in between then and now will be thinning them out. I'll start fertilizing them once a week, and then it will just be, waiting for them to be ready to harvest in the fall. I'm actually gonna walk back and grab my hose. I did water the carrot seedlings yesterday, but like I said in my video when I planted the carrot seeds, you really want to water them in like twice a day. I have the vermiculite and I have the mulch on them, and the moisture is probably holding on all right. But yeah, I want to be extra careful, and like I said before, you almost can't water carrot seeds too much. And it has been raining, but the last 2 days it hasn't really been, so I've been watering them. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my hose and give them a quick little drink here. So the plants are fertilized, and I smell disgusting like fish fertilizer, so that's great. I wanted to show you guys something though that I thought was kind of funny. I planted some potatoes about a week ago, and I noticed a couple of volunteer potatoes, because these are not the ones I planted. This is definitely from last year, and they're actually growing out from under the tires rather than in the tires. So here, I'll show you guys. So that is a potato plant. My potatoes this year are planted in there, and this guy is growing from the outside, so that is definitely from last year. And over here as well. See, I'm just gonna keep them, let them do their thing. They have a source of soil, so they'll produce potatoes for me, I'm pretty sure. Sounds pretty cool and exciting. And here are the chickens. So I had a little bit of drama with the chickens the last month. But yeah, so the chickens, about 3 weeks ago now, I noticed that they had stopped laying eggs. And it was like 3 days in a row that I didn't get any eggs. And it just so happened that those 3 days we had been letting them free range in the yard. So I really didn't think much of it, because I'm like, they probably bedded down somewhere behind a rose bush and were laying eggs. So I'll just go search for them and find them. And there were no eggs, except for there were like 3 eggs behind one rose bush that I believe Henry had laid, because she was getting picked on, but I think that was from a few days before they stopped laying, because honestly those were all the eggs that I found. And then I started finding an egg here and there within those 3 days that was soft, like really soft, and in random places, like on the roof of the coop and outside of the coop where they don't lay eggs. And I mean, like almost just like a membrane with like the yolk and the white in it. So that was a clear indication to me that they were very, very calcium deficient, which was a little bit confusing to me, because we're always on top of their food. They had their mealworms and their snacks, and they were free ranging in the yard. But they had been laying pretty well for the last few weeks before that, and had come right out of winter. So I did some research and then realized, I need to get them some oyster shells. And I guess oyster shells for chickens, it's just so rich in calcium, and it helps them out just to, you know, replenish their calcium intake into their bodies. And so I started giving them some of the oyster shells, the chicken grade oyster shells, and I think it was 3 or 4 days later the issue was completely fixed. They are now completely laying normal again, laying a lot. The eggshells are nice and strong, so I'm really relieved, because I was really stressed, because sometimes if your hens stop laying and they lay soft eggs, that can sometimes mean disease, that can sometimes mean salmonella. They have pests and like mites that can get onto them, and that can affect their laying. So I was just stressed that it was something serious, and a calcium deficiency is serious. Like, it shouldn't get to that point, but it's very easily fixed. So if you notice that your chickens are doing anything like that, try getting them some oyster shells, because it completely fixed the issue for us. So we're getting eggs again, and my ladies are healthy and happy, and we're good on that. So here's some beautiful chamomile, and behind it, those little holes, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is ant central. I'm gonna try and get close to see if you can see any of the ants. If you can't see them, trust me, they're there. So I'm gonna go, what the heck is this? Oh! You guys. Oh, well, that's where they're coming from. I'm gonna go get some diatomaceous earth and sprinkle it where those ants are, and it will completely eradicate them. So let's go get these pests out of my chamomile patch. All right, guys. This is a diatomaceous earth. You need to get food grade to protect, you know, the kids and the animals and stuff. But quick history on diatomaceous earth before I do this. Diatomaceous earth is actually originally for when you're storing things like oats, just like for your livestock, for your cows, for horses, llamas, and they mix this with the feed, whether it's oats or barley or hay, whatever it is. And what this does is it keeps, you know, different pests out of the food. So it will kill beetles, it will kill ants, it will kill just anything that wants to eat that kind of stuff. So farmers will mix the diatomaceous earth in with the food, and it keeps the pests out of it, and then the horses and the cows and everything can still actually eat it and be safe. And I actually like to put this in the chicken coop sometimes, or the chicken run rather, so that the hens can do dust baths in it, because that further protects them from mites. So we're gonna sprinkle this on where these nasty ants are and just get them out of my chamomile patch now. Okay, I have this cracked open, I have my cup. One thing that you want to be very careful with, this stuff is completely safe except for if it's in the air and in dust form. If you breathe this in, you're not going to be happy. It is painful, it's not good. So just make sure that you're either holding your breath, make sure it doesn't get into your eyes, or just make sure you're not kicking it up into a dust form. But yeah, just that's the only warning. But here, let's go ahead, fill my cup, and we're gonna get this get the ants covered with this. So all right. Bye-bye, ants. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode of the Homestead Quest, and I hope you guys were able to learn a thing or two. And I know it seemed a little bit uneventful today compared to how it's been in my videos. My last big project is actually that back corner to do that herb spiral, and I have to get that done this week, so I'll put a video up on that. But everything I did today, even though it wasn't quite as eventful, was really important. You know, making sure that your plants are fed, making sure that your pests are under control. Those are all really important things. So I actually was able to get some important stuff done today. And I'm so excited, like you guys have no idea, over the germination on my carrot seeds, especially as soon as it has been. Like it doesn't feel like it's been long enough, but those are definitely carrot seedlings, so I'm really excited to see that as well. So Thank you guys so much for coming along with me today. My name's Amanda, and this is the Homestead Quest. Hey guys, also, I'm here to remind you to like and subscribe to my channel. I've been loving you guys watching and doing this. It's been so much fun, and I really hope you guys are learning something. And again, if you have any suggestions on what to name decoy owl and what to plant in those 2 beds, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm gonna go to a nursery this week and pick some stuff out, so just let me know. And if any of you guys are avid gardeners and you're watching this channel and maybe you see something that you do differently, or if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below too, because I still, am a learner. I'm only on my 2nd year really gardening seriously, so I would love to learn or get input from you guys or give you extra input if you have any additional questions. So please like and subscribe and comment down below. Thank you so much. This is the Homestead Quest.